Canada Disability Benefit, the fallout. How fall will it fall? How fall will it fall? I mean, the Canada Disability Benefit, historic benefit, and it's falling. It's falling fast, everyone. Tune in next, and we're going to be talking more about it. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in to PWD Allies podcast. My name is Brent Frain. I'm the host. I'm broadcasting to you from Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Beautiful British Columbia. It's nice and sunny out today. Gorgeous, gorgeous city. If you've ever come to Victoria, I mean, great. If you haven't, yeah, definitely check it out. It's one of the most beautiful areas in British Columbia besides the Okanagan. Lower Mainland's beautiful. Lots to see and do. I'm not paid by Tourism BC to advertise this, but definitely it's a nice area. I'm in the capital region. Please subscribe, like, and share the content that you're viewing today. As always, it really helps us build the channel. We've got lots to talk about today on the show. We're going to be talking about Canada Disability Benefit, the fallout. You remember the Canada Disability Benefit that was originally. It was really talked about in 2019, right? And 2020, they really came to fruition. And 5 years later, well, yeah, not so much promises have been kept, right? I mean, promises made, but promises kept, no. It was supposed to get to, yeah.
You know what I wanted to do, Brent, is just to take. I promise I'll only take about 5 minutes. But you know, we haven't been on the podcast for. It's been 4 full weeks.
Yeah.
It's 4 full weeks since we've been on, so I wanted to take a bit of an opportunity to just fill in the gap of kind of, because a lot of lots of has happened in that the 1 month gap. I mean, we can just talk about the fact that you were planning to come see me during the break and you never did because both you and Sonjia were really sick.
Yeah.
You did.
I'll talk more about that.
Yeah, and I mean, we can talk about that later because I do want to talk about the CDB, but I just wanted to touch on that, and I wanted to again shout out all our devoted listeners, and especially the ones that are supporting us with the double doubles and the apple fritters, our memberships. We have Shannon Hollingworth that's still supporting us with the monthly double double, and the double double is actually $12.99 per month. So we have Shannon Hollingworth supporting us that way. That's great. We love that.
Thank you.
And we have Brianna. And she's been on the podcast before. She's supporting us with the apple fritter, and the apple fritter is $4.99 a month. So we wanted to shout out that, and I wanted to shout out the mugs.
Oh yes.
Remember, I put a picture for the mugs. There's this side and this side, and
those are so cool.
That's really cool. That's from Trisha, and she's one of the big fans of the podcast too, and I was able to meet her and talk to her for a bit, and it was really, really great. And of course, I have one for you, but because you weren't able to come see me, I still have your mug. So I just wanted to say that. The other big bit of news that we've got to say again is about Charleigh Pollock and her mom, Jory Fales.
Yes.
And it's a story of the 10-year-old girl that has Batten disease, and the provincial government was gonna discontinue her medication. That's basically keeping her quality of life. Again, she is eventually going to die from the disease. The medication she is taking there's no cure for the disease, so she will eventually die. A lot of the people that have the kids that have Batten disease, apparently most of them die by, say, age 13 or so. But the medication is providing quality of life, because if she didn't have the medication, she's subject to extremely painful seizures, right?
A lot of unnecessary suffering.
Like really unnecessary suffering. And so like the government was being completely tone deaf. And it literally took the entire world.
Yeah.
And we kid you not, it literally took the entire world to say, what is the provincial government doing here in BC? And finally, the provincial government relented and say, okay, we'll restore the funding. But that it basically took the entire world. It took the entire world to shame the provincial government, the NDP, the provincial BC NDP. It took the entire world to shame them before they reversed course. And I mean, we can talk about this more on a future podcast. We have one that's coming up. It's going to be on August 8th. It's going to be called "How to Be Happy."
Yes.
And I'm looking forward to that one. And so we'll kind of dive into this a bit more.
Okay.
But yeah, I just wanted to acknowledge that. And I wanted to acknowledge, that we have, all our loyal listeners and followers on the podcast, but we also have, people that we like to shout out, like, we have Rob Shaw and Adam Sterling and our, our people that have been on the podcast, Elena Lawson and Tamara Taggart. They were all like really, shouting from the rooftops about this Charleigh Pollock thing, and we also have to say too, like you actually, before you went on holidays, you actually put out a tweet that says, "I'm taking a mental break," and who was it that just did a little? I think she DM'd you and said, "Hope you're okay, Brent." Right?
Yeah.
I mean, she didn't have to do that, but I mean, it goes to show that, like there's a lot of people out there that really care, and I just want to acknowledge that, like we're very thankful for the people that are out there that really do care.
Yeah,
and it's
but
great.
I still remember the day I literally hit send, like post that within like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I had a comment right away. Are you okay? Everything okay?
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like there are people that really, really care. And that's why the one episode on August 8th, we're going to be talking about exactly that. Are you happy? Are you okay? And it's okay. Like, it's okay for people to say, it's okay to take a mental break. It just means that they want to slow the mind down and just take a breather for maybe a day, 2 days, whatever it may be. And then they get back into it again. It's a refresher. And everyone in the world, I mean, just take a step back from the political scheme of things or whatever. There's so much going on around the world right now. And I think if society in general, everybody just takes a step back just for a few moments and they just observe what is going on, how does things affect you? And we're going to be talking more about that on the 8th. I mean, especially like we probably might mirror a little bit of like today's show on the 8th, a little bit of kind of reflecting, going, are you happy? Like what is making you, what's making you sad? And like today, like the Canada Disability Benefit, we'll be talking in more in depth on that.
Well, let's launch into it right now.
But just I'll just kind of give everybody a quick overview.
Sure.
So when Sonjia and myself originally said like we were going to be taking a staycation, our plans were, and Neil kind of gave you guys all a preview here of like our plans was that we were going to be going over to see Sonja's grandma and her parents and my relatives. And of course, they're out in Nanaimo. Some are in Nanaimo, some are in different areas of Vancouver Island. That was our original plan. Then we're going to go and visit Neil. Well, all of a sudden, we got a really nasty cold bug, and it would not go away. We went through so many. It's like equivalent of Dayquil, NyQuil. Everyone's familiar with that stuff. Well, it was a name brand stuff, and it was just as equivalent to that stuff. We were going through these boxes of stuff like nonstop, and of course, as we all know, PWD benefits across Canada are not high enough, so we had to take that out of food money in order to to accomplish that. So when I post out that, I say, well, we have to sacrifice things. Yeah, like you got to sacrifice things. Money doesn't come out of nowhere, especially when the BC government decides. I mean, they chose not to raise PWD rates in 4 years. I mean, I'm still baffled. Like, why would you choose not to raise it since 2021? I mean, and they blame it on the tariffs. Oh, well, it's the tariffs from the guy down south. I mean, he's causing all the tariffs since 2021. Really? No, not since 2021.
Yeah.
I mean, so you can't blame it on that, but they put it in their budget. Yeah, not in their budget, in their kind of their throne speech for their election, that they're saying we're going to run with the CDB. So they're based on the CDB. We're not going to want to raise rates because we're waiting on the CDB federally, so we don't have an excuse not to raise the rates. Well, we know that the CDB, where that's at. But what I'm going to get to that part is that, so we finally got rid of our bug enough that we were able to go and see her grandma, because you can't take a contagious bug into a hospital. For one thing,
it's not a good idea. No,
it's not a good idea. Very contagious to pass on to her grandma, who's 95 years old. Just to kind of give everybody an overview of that, her grandma is in recovery. She's going through a rehabilitation process. She had dislocated her knee. She had fallen and fractured her hip. So I thought it was just she had fractured her hip. No, she had dislocated her knee on top of that. So they're keeping her in there for rehabilitation. She's going through how to move her arms again, how to move her legs, and she just doesn't have a lot of strength. She's very frail. I mean, of course, at that age, right? And they're giving her a lot of good support there at the hospital. Hospital food. Hey, I saw it when I was there. Egg salad sandwich, a bowl of soup, tea, and peaches.
I love egg salad. That's
one of my favorites. But her mom doesn't like egg salad. Yeah, but really nice. I mean, it was so nice to see her. She was so happy that Sonjia and I were able to come out. Sonja's mom had told her that we weren't originally able to make it out because we had a nasty cold, and she's like, oh, well, that nasty cold, that little bug, it needs to go away. And so she was really, really happy that we made it out to see her, and we spent some good quality time visiting with her.
That's great.
And it was awesome. She's got a nice view from her room, and they're making her go to the gym inside the hospital and for exercises and keeping her mobile. It wasn't looking good for a while. It really wasn't, to be honest. But so I'm glad that we were able to go.
Dan is comparing grandmas now. He says, my grandma's older than your grandma.
Yeah.
You remember that when you were a kid, saying my dad could beat up your dad.
Yeah, and we were really worried because we thought we were not going to be able to make it out there in time, and I thought, the bad timing of this cold, and it was like we spent almost $80 on these damn pills, right? And we went and we still had the little tiny tickle, and it was like it finally went, but even her grandma, you're fine, you can come out to see me, but we were scared because we did not want to pass it on, right?
Yeah,
and we spent time with her mom and dad. It was nice, and there's a lot of stress going on at the family, and you can imagine at their household. I mean, but we still enjoyed our time. I had a talk with her mom too, and I just said you just have to put things into perspective. Like, you can't accomplish and want to solve everything in life, and I've learned that in time.
That's an echo of what we're going to talk about on the 8th.
On the 8th too.
Yeah.
And we talked about the Canada Disability Benefit. I talked to her mom and dad because they were kind of asking, well, what's the podcast going to be about? And so I told them, and they're like, oh, great. So they're looking forward to that. They watch some of our podcasts. Some of them they don't, some of them they do. But it's something that we looked at, and we were trying to do some fundraising. We got the majority of it. Some of it we didn't get, so we just had to take it out of some food to accomplish to get us over. It cost. We tried helping them out with stuff while we were there too, and so it's hard because we've got a 5-week month ahead in all of August, and yeah, so I got a post out there, for help for the month. So if anyone's able to help out on it, yeah, definitely, if you can, great. But anyway, let's go on with the show. It's the Canada Disability Benefit, the fallout.
Yeah, and the first thing I'll say is I think, and I didn't tell you this yet, Brent, but I at the bottom of the screen I put text for the CDB hotline. So the whole show I'm gonna have that up. And what the CDB hotline is anybody that applied for it but is still waiting to hear back about it. You can call that number on the bottom of the screen, and I will also put it in the description. I don't think I put it in this description yet. I forget. But if it's not there yet, I will put it at the end of the show. I'll put it down there. But yeah, anybody that did apply, and again, the application itself was very simple and straightforward, right? Mm-hmm. But as we're going to talk about, they missed a step, because there are some people that aren't very happy, and I just wanted to go, and again, this is our first podcast in almost an entire month. It's been 4 weeks. Yeah. But in the space of that 4 weeks, we were getting a lot of feedback from comments, or I look at the comments on the videos and stuff, and I also have to say too that if for some reason if some comments kind of disappear, I've got that a couple times where people said, well, I don't know why my comments are disappearing. And I don't know why either, because I'm not the one deleting them. So either YouTube is mysteriously doing it, or I'm not sure. But rest assured, I don't edit the comments. The only ones I edit or block or delete is if somebody's being deliberately mean-spirited, or if it's a racialized comment or something like that, deliberately derogatory. I'll have nothing to do with that, so I will delete those. But if it's just a standard comment, even if you're being very direct towards the government, which I do, I do. I'll leave those comments up. So again, if people are saying, well, why are my comments going away? I don't know. But having said that, let's go to a couple of comments. Mm-hmm. This first one, I love it. It's from Machete Kitten. Machete Kitten. So it's a kind of it's a blend of violence and cute and cuddly. I love it. It's a blend of violence and cute and cuddly. Machete Kitten.
Machete Kitten. I can see that.
I love it. So here's the comment from Machete Kitten. Machete Kitten. It's he or she says, I qualify for the CDB, but got a letter saying my income is too high. It's not. They didn't apply the Working Income Exemption. So we're gonna get to that. We'll go to the actual website later, and we'll talk about this whole Working Income Exemption. But he's saying they didn't apply the Working Income Exemption. I have heard this is happening to a lot of people. The application only asks for net income, but not how much comes from employment. When I called Service Canada, they asked for my working income. But how could they know this if the form doesn't ask, and that's true, and CRA doesn't provide them with that info? Huge flaw.
Wow.
Okay, and there was another kind of follow-up comment. The application, again, does not ask for all of the relevant information. And again, follow-up comment, request for consideration can take up to 60 days. So again, if you dispute a result, like in this case, if you dispute the findings of what CRA found, you can do what's called a request for reconsideration, but that can take up to 60 days.
Holy.
60 days for that. Okay, so we're gonna get to that website, but I wanted to follow up on a second comment, and I'm only gonna do 2 comments because I think they kind of encapsulate a lot of feedback from a lot of people. So here's another one from Jeremy Tolme. Not as inventive as a name as Machete Kitten, but I'll let that pass.
Yeah.
So here's one from Jeremy. The CRA did not give Service Canada CDB office the correct income reports. As a result, they say I have no employment income and no PWD social assistance payments. All they see is 28,542 net income. My income is 10,122 employment income and 18,586 PWD income assistance income. I have no other income. I do get 533 GST per year and $2,300 of income tax refund per year. I am in the process of getting reconsideration about my CDB. All they gave me is $107.63 a month, when I should be getting the full $200 a month. They did not give me the $10,000 of employment income exemption, which puts me below the $23,000 income threshold. Also, apparently, the PWD social assistance income does not count as income when they count your income. I will see if they fix their mistake. So that's just two comments.
Wow.
But you can see that covers a lot of the big problem we can say, right?
Yeah, those are huge problems.
Yeah.
And that's something that the federal government and the CRA should already be well aware of when they before even launching the CDB process going forward. They should have already had all those steps in place and safeguards. And the federal government ignored all the preliminary, all the hearings, all the testimonies. I mean, these safeguards that were in place were supposed to be in place for a reason. And of course, the federal government was just being ableist about the whole thing, right? I mean, because a lot of the recommendations that were actually signed off on were from federal MPs that actually were part of the whole planning stage of this. I mean, it was supposed to go to everybody automatically on provincial benefits in every province and territories in Canada, but nope.
Barrier free. It was supposed to be barrier free.
Barrier free.
It was supposed to lift everybody out of poverty.
Legislative poverty. 1.5 million people out of legislative poverty. It was supposed to be no less than $2,400 a month. Yeah, per month. Yeah. And that was per individual. And the government
now it's per year.
Yeah, they managed to turn that into a pink unicorn, and I got one right behind me here. Pink unicorn. They managed to turn that $2,400 per individual per month into $200 per family, per household.
They just turned that into a typo. It's like, well, we originally said a month, but we really meant a year, so we'll just change that.
Yeah, I think somebody did a huge error in that, and now they don't want to admit that they screwed up. That's the problem. And from what I'm hearing too, in the disability community across Canada, before we went away, and I was trying to nurse my my damn cold, real nasty bug, but I was spending time reading up on some of the comments and hearing people in the community around me, in my neighborhood, and they were very concerned, and they still are very concerned because they feel that they're being left behind for something that was supposed to be historic, and a lot of people are not qualifying.
Yeah.
I mean, they qualify provincially and territorial,
Yeah.
but they don't qualify for a federal benefit. And your disabilities, okay, I'm going to say it again to all my listeners and the viewers. Your disabilities don't go away.
Yeah.
You're born with them. You can develop disabilities as you get older, and you will. They may not be visible. There's a lot of hidden disabilities. And one little accident, you can actually become disabled and more disabled. And the federal government, the problem is these policymakers, the ones who figure they know everything, they live in a bubble, right? They live in a bubble world. Don't realize that their decision making, when you make a promise and you need to go with all the recommendations that were signed off on it, and if you don't go with that,
when you don't factor in lived experience, which they have nothing. They don't have any of that. When you don't factor that in, and when you don't invite people with disabilities to the table to be part of that decision making, when you don't do that, this is what you get, right?
Exactly. And it's supposed to lift people out of legislative poverty. And the other part that really bothers me a lot, and we'll dive into this part here, is there's the majority of the provinces, except for one province. But one other province finally said, no, we're not going to claw it off. And that was Ontario. Ontario said, fine. I mean, they just strung it on, and they were one of the last. And then they finally said, no, we're not going to claw it off. Okay, bravo.
Yeah, slow
clap. Clap. But now we got Alberta, who basically says, no, you have to apply. They're not giving their recipients an option. They're telling them you have to apply for the CDB, and there's a lot of applicants. Recipients. Filling out the application, which is it can be range anywhere in fees. Whatever the doctor wants to charge, or a practitioner, specialist. If they want to charge you $250, they can charge it. They want to charge you $80, they can charge you that. There's no set amount what they can charge. If they want to give it to you for free, which I highly don't think they will do that. Yeah. But anyway, it's not. That's a huge barrier right there.
Yeah, it's a barrier, right? And I've said before, it's like you can use the word attrition. Where you put a barrier up and you put so many things in front of something that it just prevents. It just tires a person out and says, "Oh, I give up." That's what attrition is you put so many obstacles in the way, and somebody says, well, you know what, it's too much. I give up. And you know for a fact that was done deliberately. Deliberately by the government. They said, let's put the DTC as a prerequisite to induce this level of attrition, so that people will just give up. That was a fact. You know that for a fact to be the case.
It causes harm though, and it harm to the actual recipient, because in Alberta they don't have a choice to apply, and when they do apply, they're taking it dollar by dollar off. So you don't benefit from in Alberta. But the excuse that I'm hearing in Alberta from the government there, provincial government, they're getting enough money. They're getting too much money.
We already give them a lot.
And the way I look at it is, how much is too much money? Are you supposed to put a cap on a person's life and say, you can only have this much, you can only have this much? Yeah. I look at it as dictatorship, right? Yeah. You can have this much. You have to live within your means. You can only have
what is it now? I think in Alberta it's like 7. Is it 19? Okay.
1901.
I was going to say it was around 17 or 18, but even 19.
That's way too low.
It is higher than most provinces. Yeah, but it's not anything to brag about.
No, exactly. Especially with a rental. You go and try and find a market rent. I can give you an example. In my building, $2,200 a month.
Yeah. that's kind of low bar now, isn't it?
That's a low bar.
That's very low bar now.
And according to my management, they're saying that's cheap. That's
yeah.
really, and it is cheap because the road over where I am, you're looking at almost $3,000 for the same thing. So a whole PWD check, you can't even rent on that in market housing. And trying to get into subsidized housing, I mean, my gosh, there's only 26% that maybe at the very most get into subsidized housing, and there's not enough to being built. But again, I've talked about that part on other podcasts where I always think that the PWD should have a choice of deciding where they want to live. Do they want to live in subsidized housing? Do they want to live in market housing? If they want to continue living in market housing, extend that program of that subsidized over to market housing and give the same PWD. I mean, you could have two PWD, one in market housing living next door, and you could have a subsidized housing unit right beside them. They're the same, they could have the same disability, but one gets to have this, one gets to have that.
One of these things is not like the other. One
it needs to be equalized across. And that's the same thing with the CDB. It's like penalizing disabled against disabled, and the federal government has to stop doing that. Like, take the DTC out of the equation. You were told from day one, do not use this as a prerequisite. And what did you do? You went ahead and did it anyway. That's like telling a child, you can have one stick of bubble gum from the candy store, and you can have one little chocolate. Okay, can I have a chocolate bar? Fine. You can have that. That's your monthly treat. You can have that. And what does the child do? Okay, takes 2 sticks of bubble gum. No, you put the other bubble gum back. Tries to sneak another piece of chocolate. And then the parent comes along and says no. But then the father comes along and says, it's okay. Take 2. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the federal government's not listening to the actual people that have actually that know or the design. When they were designing this, they were getting input. But again, a good point, Neil, is that they should have had more disabled people sitting
at the table.
And you need to listen to lived experience. I mean, I want the federal government, these ones who basically decided to take a zero out of that $2,400. Okay, come on to the podcast. I'd like you to come on to the podcast. Let's have a discussion. And why did you do that? Right? Do I have to say go to the corner? Like, you've been bad. You need to go to the corner.
Time out.
You need to go and sit with the pink unicorns in the corner. Right? Basically, what you've done.
I think Evie would love that.
Because that's the thing where I was going to quickly go to I mentioned Alberta, but I want to mention about BC here just for one moment, and then I'll hand it over to you, Neil.
Okay.
So BC, when we had our election last year in 2024, late in 2024, and the BC NDP, every government has a platform that they're going to run on. So the BC NDP ran on their platform, nothing in there about increasing disability assistance or income assistance, aka welfare. That rate's way too low too, by the way. I mean, it needs to be addressed and brought to modernization. So does the disability benefits. No increase in 4 years, but we'll get into that after. But anyway, the BC NDP actually ran on it in their platform, the CDB, and it said CDB, Canada Disability Benefit. That was the only thing in their platform they were actually running on, because they said that it was going to be historic, and they were waiting on the federal government to come up with this so-called historic benefit that was going to help.
We don't have to do anything else. We can just hand it off to the federal government, and we'll take credit for it.
We're going to wait on the federal government to make this historic payment available for persons with disabilities across Canada and for the residents in British Columbia, because it was going to lift people out of legislated poverty. Well, surprise, surprise. The majority, there's a lot of PWD, from what I'm hearing, even in my community, are saying they do not qualify. So now, why did you not raise the rates? Now, if you raise the rates, and now if they qualify for it, you can now work with that situation. Federal government, you could work with that situation. So you can say, okay, is this a top up? Okay, how much are they getting? top it up, right?
Yeah.
Topped up to no less than poverty level financial support. It's not rocket science.
Well, that's what I wanted to get to, Brent.
Yeah.
Again, is to circle back to this idea that we don't know how many people aren't qualifying. And one of the comments that I didn't actually get to yet, because it was just kind of a generic comment, but it's still an important comment, is one of the comments left on one of the videos was how much, like, you almost put a poll out, almost sort of like a polling question, is like, how many people have received anything? Because he said, I haven't received anything yet. And it's like me too. Like, I applied back in it was June 20th. And the thing I have to say, and again, we're gonna get to the website soon. I'm gonna go right to the website soon on a screen share. But before I do, I just wanted to say too that when you applied, you could either get an invite. You got a special invite code from the federal government. This is an invite code that you put this invite code into the website when you're doing the application, and apparently that helps fast track it a bit more, right? Well, I never got an invite code. Now, I don't know why. Like, I was talking to my friend Kent. I always mention my friend Kent. I don't know, because we always talk about this kind of stuff. That's why I mention him all the time. But you know, he said he got a code, and he says I don't know why I got a code and you didn't. And I'm like, a good question. I have no idea either. Like
that's what I've been hearing too.
So it's like what's the rationale of me not getting a code and my friend Kent getting a code, right? Yeah. And so apparently for people that got a code, their procedure got expedited a little bit faster. But I was told, because I phoned the number. I phoned the number at the bottom of the screen there. And so I asked them, I said, I didn't get a code, but I said I applied back on June 20th. And I said, when am I going to get an approval email saying that I've got approved or disapproved? And the response I got back was, well, because you didn't get a code, you have to wait 28 business days. 28 business days. So from June 20th, 28 business days would have worked out to either yesterday or today. And for the record, I have yet to get a response back. So I still do not know if I qualify or disqualify. And I was supposed to get a response either yesterday or today. I got nothing. So I'm going to have to follow up again on Tuesday and ask them again, like, what's the status? Because I have no. So I'll be phoning that number at the bottom of the screen there. Yeah.
So I'll read it out to everybody. So the CDB hotline is 1-833-486-3007. Again, the CDB hotline is 1-833-486-3007. Tell the CRA you want your money now. Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Tell them that it's $2,400 a month that they committed to originally. Well, no, we didn't do it. Just tell them, well, the federal government committed to nobody left behind, right? So $2,400 a month per individual. Tell them to add number 01 to it and call it a day.
So anyway, Brent, let's go to the screen share now, because I did want to bring up some things that were covered in the comments. I'm just going to bring up the comments again. That one of the main comments was about them not accounting for the working income exemption part of the equation, right? And so I'm just gonna, you can see the screen share there. I'm just gonna switch over so I can scroll through here, and it says it says your benefit amounts and the maximum you can receive, and how your income affects your benefit amount. So it says there's three things you've got to account for here. Is your marital status will affect. It says three factors will affect your benefit amount. Your marital status, whether you or your spouse or common law partner have income from employment, self-employment, or taxable scholarships, and whether you or your spouse are both receiving the benefit. And then down here you can see it talks about working income exemption. So that's the big sticky point, right? So so we're going right to the horse's mouth here, right? So it says working income exemption, a certain amount of income from employment or self-employment and taxable scholarships is excluded when calculating your benefit amount. This is called the working income exemption. If you are single, up to $10,000 of working income will be exempt when calculating your benefit. If you have a spouse or common law partner, up to $14,000 of combined working income will be exempt. Earning more than the working income exemption does not necessarily mean that your benefit amount will be reduced. Now, I love how they just kind of threw that in there.
Yeah.
You see how it's just kind of thrown in there, but it's very like it's very non-specific. It's like, well, we're just gonna throw this in here and not kind of tie it to anything. It's just like, well, you know what I mean?
They can change their mind on how they.
It's just a very kind of, it's a very non-specific thing to just throw in at the end there. And it's got a calculator thing at the bottom here.
But it is kind of like variable, like they just kind of throw it out. But they want to change their mind on how they interpret that language in it. They could say, well, I'm going to tie it to here, I'm going to tie it to there. I think they just didn't even know what they were doing. I think they just kind of threw it together and just threw. It's like making pancakes. So a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And,
and again, it says it's talking about waiting for the decision. It says you can expect a letter to be sent within 28 calendar days of applying for the benefit. And again, in my case, I was told 28 working days because I didn't actually get the invite, the invite code. So I was told 28 working days. And then here it says if you just disagree with a particular decision, you can submit the reconsideration, and it says to do this, submit a request within 180 days. So you have up to 6 months to submit this decision.
And then it goes through the whole thing again.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it's just
like the never-ending story.
It's just crazy. Yeah.
I remember hearing just recently from a couple people that they have to wait until November for a decision now.
Yeah.
Like wow, like really talk about getting a rollout of this Canada Disability Benefit. They've had 5 years to figure this out, and they're still screwing it up.
So I just find it funny that they're tying it to family income, which you kind of knew that they would, but yet they're still being very non-specific. That they're saying, even if you have all this income, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're gonna cut back your income, right? So it's all very airy fairy pink unicorn territory stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. They're being very
that I just wanted to kind of acknowledge that. And let me go back here. Well, we can stop the screen share. I'll go back.
Something like a two-year-old kind of threw together, not knowing it.
Yeah. So and so now that we have the show, I hope that people will write in comments and say, yeah, I'm still waiting. I haven't heard anything, and I'm always checking Twitter and seeing if there's any comments about CDB. Like you can type in CDB or Canada Disability Benefit. I just did it this morning and even yesterday, and there's nobody talking about it, and all you can really assume is that everybody's still waiting. Like everybody's still waiting. Nobody's receiving any money yet. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so many people that are in limbo with that, and I mean, I can echo, and because we're in BC, and Neil, you're in Surrey, and I'm in Victoria, and I mean, I'm hearing here in the capital region, just like I say, people in my area, and even when I was in Nanaimo, I heard some people talking about it there. Permanently disabled, like there was one lady who said that, yeah, her friend is going to be getting the Canada Disability Benefit, and she won't be getting the Canada Disability Benefit. She doesn't qualify, apparently, but her friend does. But get this, everyone, they both have the same disability.
Yeah.
Okay, so like there's something in the federal government, whoever's behind the scenes reading what the doctors have said provincially and territorial, right? Now, how they look at that language for the CRA, they got some mysterious doctors that are behind the scenes. No, you don't meet that criteria. So guess what? I don't meet that criteria, but I'm disabled. I'm a disabled resident, but I'm a disabled Canadian citizen born in British Columbia. I'm disabled in British Columbia, but I'm not disabled enough in Canada to get the Canada Disability Benefit. How does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I know, Dan, if you're in chat, Dan, how does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, wow. I mean, if you get a federal government that can screw something up so bad.
Well, you know what? You know one thing that Dan says a lot, and I always respect this about you, Dan. When the one thing that Dan says a lot, and I always repeat back when I get a chance, is he says always like, "Show me your receipts."
Show me the receipts.
Show me your receipts, right?
I love that comment.
Yeah, I mean, he says it a lot, and it's so true.
Yeah, but it is true.
I mean, if you're gonna come at me, or you're gonna come at Dan or anybody, like, I mean, show the receipts. Or, I mean,
Sonja's parents said to me, how can a federal government fuck up a Canada Disability Benefit so bad, make it so historic that only some people will get it, some people won't get it? They said, provincial governments, you need to step up to the plate, take care of your citizens, up to the disability amounts. Now, if they qualify for that historic Canada Disability Benefit, great. If they don't get it, you're lifting people out of legislative poverty. Yeah. Okay, so don't wait on a federal government. I mean, I could have told you guys that if they want actually. In fact, I did tell you.
Everybody could have told them that.
I remember in a meeting we had, and I told the minister way back years ago when we had a meeting. I said, "So what if people don't qualify for this Canada Disability Benefit?" Oh, well, they have to apply. I mean, it's historic. They're gonna qualify. Well, hello. Yeah. So I think governments have to take that responsibility and take care of their residents and their citizens.
You know the movie Matrix, where you had the red pill and the blue pill.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody that has a disability in whatever province in Canada, we all have that reality pill, right? Yep. We all have that reality pill. We know what's going on, and it seems like all the governments though are living in the Matrix. They have no idea. They have no idea what's going on. The only people that know what's going on is the people with disabilities. We all have that reality pill. We're all taking that. Is the red pill was the reality pill? I don't know. But we all have taken that reality pill. We know what's going on, and the governments are clueless. They have no idea.
I think the governments took too many of the wrong pill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, way too many of them.
Yeah, we can talk about that on another podcast too. Crazy. Yeah.
And I look at, I mean, how incompetent can some of the governments be, knowing like, okay, well, what happens if they don't qualify? Oh, there's more work to do.
Nobody even thought of consider. I mean, maybe they did, and they thought, well, who cares?
Yeah.
But I mean, like literally, somebody probably spent like 5 seconds on it. Well, gee, I wonder if nobody qualifies. Oh well,
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna say, oh well, they're disabled. Yeah, they'll get it. Well, what if they don't? Oh, never thought about that. Oh well, yeah, worry about that. Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it is. We'll just keep saying, copy, paste. Oh, there's more to do.
And again, if you don't allow people with disabilities seats at the table,
what could go wrong?
This is the kind of crap that you end up with.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, there's no mystery there. It's like, well, I wonder if you put crap in, like it's like, like putting lipstick on a pig. Like you really expect that that's gonna fix it?
Yeah, if you design a disability benefit without the going with all the recommendations that were signed off, that were actually voted for. All in favor? Yay, nays. Yays, okay, passed. Yeah, it's not hard, everybody. I know, I've gone through that process. Yays, nays. Okay, I was actually on a committee.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was actually a chair, so I know how all that works.
So you had a seat at the table, Brent. You had a seat at the table.
Not with the Canada Disability Benefit. If I did, they would have been telling me to get out of that room.
Yeah.
I would have been demanding that they do this right the first time, and I would not have made sure. I mean, I would have not. I'll kind of reword that. I would have made sure that they would not have screwed it up, right?
Yeah.
I'm still baffled, like how a government can still screw things up so bad after. I mean, like tons of MPs. There was organizations that were there, doctors. I mean, there was a lot of doctors, specialists, you name it. Tons of them were there telling them they don't do it.
It really did happen very fast, though, didn't it, Brent? Because you had those HUMA committees, right, where everybody kind of gave their impact statements. So there you had a lot of people with disabilities giving their statements, and there was a lot of really good ones.
Oh, there was tons.
Like great impact statements. But then, just the other day, we were talking off air, and if people follow the Twitter account, they'll know that just yesterday I put out a quote tweet for Throwback Thursday. I said, and it was a tweet from Carla Qualtrough from over 2 years ago. It was June of 2023, and she just says, "Wow. The CDB has achieved royal assent." That was her tweet, right? And I retweeted that with a throwback Thursday yesterday, and so that was almost 26 months ago, where she was really excited about
I'll play the clip for you.
Okay, sure.
What an historic day. Bill C-22 has received royal assent and the Canada Disability Benefit Act is now law. There are 6.2 million persons with disabilities in Canada, 23% of whom live in poverty. Like the Guaranteed Income Supplement for seniors and the Canada Child Benefit for kids, the Canada Disability Benefit will lift working-age persons with disabilities out of poverty. This is a victory for every self-advocate, every activist, every parent, every ally, every organization, every individual who has fought and continues to fight to have our rights recognized. Now the real hard work begins as we design a benefit that works with provincial and territorial disability systems and reflects the disability community's needs. This summer, we will engage with the disability community, stakeholders, provinces, and territories. In the spirit of nothing without us, this is the first step in the development of the regulations that will make the CDB a reality. The disability community, our community, got us here. Thank you for all your hard work and advocacy. Let's keep working. I know we can and will get this done together.
If the talks collapse.
Now I have to say, Brent, I know that Carla Qualtrough has faced her share of slings and arrows, but I have to say in all sincerity that I do believe at the time that she said that, she really did believe what she was saying. Right?
She did.
Because when she was in control of that file, she really believed that the amount was going to be $600 to $700 a month. Like that's that's what she had in her back pocket the whole time, is that this amount was going to be at least $600 to $700 level.
At least like minimum that. Like I think her intention is that what she wanted to get it done, and the top brass said, "No, you're doing things too good. Yeah. We don't want you to do it too good. So we're now going to shuffle you out of that portfolio.
Stop doing your job, Carla. Doing your job, Carla." So they shuffled her out.
Yeah.
And got somebody else in there that had no idea what they're doing,
Yeah, exactly.
And so, I do feel bad for Carla, because I think she was done a little bit dirty, right? Because, I mean, if she had stayed on the file, I honestly think that the CDB would be in much better shape now, if she had stayed. But now it's a
gong show.
It's a real gong show, and like we always talk about the bait and switch. Like when she said all that stuff about historic, isn't this great? We got through the finish line. She believed it because that was what her, again, she was believing what she was told at the time, and then they just bait and switched everything and changed everything around. So.
Oh yeah, it almost reminds me of the show The Price is Right. How close is it here?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a bit too low. Oh, it was too high. Oh, it's too high. Oh no, we can't have that. Used to love The Price is Right. Yeah, you kind of remind me of that.
Used to be my favorite all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, or was it about The Price is Wrong, Bob? Yeah.
That's right. I remember that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Adam Sandler, remember?
Adam Sandler. Yeah.
Your price is wrong, Bob.
his one movie that I still love to this day, and I know people love the Happy Gilmore, but for me, the best Adam Sandler movie ever made is the Wedding Singer. I love that movie so much.
Yeah,
it's great. But you know what, Brent? We're almost at the end of the show.
Yeah.
So and again, it's our first time back, so I'm surprised I remember how to hit all the right buttons and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how I do the intro, right? Everybody. I mean, it's been a while, right? And it was. We rewind to do a show like way beforehand, and then we had the opportunity of going out to Nanaimo. I mean, that was definitely quite the hiccup of trying to make that happen. We did make it happen after all. It has set us back financially, but we'll get through things. And we're going to make our way out to see Neil. We're going to get our way out to see you sometime.
You have to pick up your cup.
Yeah, we're August 1st already. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that. And see that cup, Sonjia? You see that on the screen?
It's two sides. This one and this one.
Yeah, look at that. That's neat. That's such a neat cup. And thanks, Trisha.
Thank you again, Trisha. Yeah,
that was awesome.
Yeah.
And we're gonna basically make other announcements. When it comes to different cups and things. As the show progresses. And stay tuned on that one, everybody. And that's like a little cliffhanger for you. Because as the show grows, be opportunities for maybe winning some prizes, something. And we're going to be doing not now, but in the distant future, we're going to be doing a telethon like we did last year.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to around Christmas, just before Christmas, we'll do another telethon.
Yeah, we're gonna do that again, and
I'm gonna try to invite Michael Bublé again, and he can turn me down again, but we'll see.
Come a message, Michael. Even like 30 seconds of your time.
I would love it if you just do like a 20 second blurb for us. Hey, this is Michael Bublé. You're watching the PWD podcast. It'd be great if you could do that. But anyway,
it'd be awesome to have you on, Michael. It's you're an awesome celebrity. Music. People in my community talk about you. I mentioned Michael.
Well, and again, I realize that in some ways we've kind of made him like sort of an inside joke on the podcast. But in all sincerity, again, I didn't just pick him like off a tree no. I picked him for a reason.
Exactly.
I picked him because he is a celebrity, he is a local celebrity, but he is also somebody that does understand a little bit
awesome music too.
Of what suffering is, though, because he had his own son go through childhood cancer, and it's a very traumatic experience for him. So he's kind of one of those ones that would understand, and I think it's so important to get people in power, people that have power, to kind of raise their voice about things like that. And because there's so many people in power, like the politicians, that should wield their power responsibly and don't do that. So that's why I keep pushing for people like Michael Bublé and people like that have the power, that have the celebrity, you know, and you know that when he does do things, I love that he's very self-effacing, or what's the word, like self-deprecating. Like he's got that perfect personality where he's not afraid to make himself look like a fool. And, I mean, that's the kind of person you want to take the reins and do something like that. Because I mean, that's kind of what we do on the podcast. I don't take myself seriously, and I know you don't either. I mean, what we're doing is serious stuff. But at the end of the day,
sometimes we just wing things too.
At the end of the day, you have to kind of take things seriously, but also not, like, have that balance, right? Have that balance.
Throw some jokes in there about things too, and make fun of my own self, and you know, like I sound like I had like a frog in my throat there for a while. It's like, it's like welcome to PWD Allies. You know what I mean? And I was thinking to myself, today would be a great day to do a podcast. Like, you know, like I'd be talking like, oh man, it was just like, and I was laughing it off, but you know, you have to in life. Like, you gotta just kind of throw things out there and just take it as is in a good way. Like sometimes, and look at the positive things in life. I know there's not a lot of positive things to look at. I mean, in some cases, but try to
tune into our podcast on August 8th.
Yeah, and that's a sneak peek of what
August 8th, and we'll talk all about how to be happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know, don't worry, be happy now.
Yeah.
This is a song I wrote. I'm gonna sing it. Nope. Don't worry, be happy. You know.
But we also have a podcast coming up on Tuesday.
Yes.
And that'll be a good one as well. So that'll be the day after BC Day on the Tuesday. We're gonna have another podcast. So and it's on the calendar, so everybody can look at that and so we got a long weekend coming up. BC Day is on Monday, and it's a recognition on how BC celebrates the beautiful scenery in BC. There's so many things. You know, how do they take care of their citizens in BC economically? Are PWD included in part of the celebration for BC Day? Know, I think David Eby has got a bill. He's got a bill he wants to put in through the legislature. He's gonna change the name of BC Day to David Eby Day.
Oh,
I think he really wants to change the name. It's not going to be BC Day anymore. It's going to be David Eby Day because it's all about him.
Yeah. And it's the day about reflecting on respect and having that autonomy and integrity from the government, doing the right thing and raising PWD rates, and I mentioned that earlier in the show a little bit, but just so people just to understand that, like 4 years, right? 4 years inflation. Everywhere I turn around, I turn on NewsHour, I can hear a newscast and commercials saying, well, the cost of living is really, really high. It's going higher. And now with these unnecessary tariffs that are, this spat between Canada, US, and all the other countries around the world, tariff. And tariffs are just taxes at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it hurts.
People say that a tariff is basically pissing into the wind.
Yeah, but it causes not immediate. Those tariffs, though, they don't cause immediate harm. They actually, they're prolonged. So here's an opportunity for governments to actually do the right thing and raise the rates, take care of your citizens, show us that you can politically, regardless of what political party you are. I know they all say they work together. Okay, so work together and say, yes, we can actually change policies, legislated policies. Okay, so whoever is the gatekeepers behind the ministers, they're telling the minister, this is the information. And then the minister says, oh, okay, I'm delivering this information. So it's the people on the committees, on the panels, behind the scenes. I learned this from John Horgan, the former premier of British Columbia. He told me how that works. And he says, but Brent, you know how that works. You were on a committee. You were the chair. You had your own committees. I said, right. So you had to get those committees aligned and to understand that this is your responsibilities. This is what they have to do. You're in control of those people. I go, right. Right.
Yeah.
So that's how government works. So at government level, but he says, unfortunately, not all people on those committees are going to agree with each other. They're going to vote yes and no, right? So when
there's so much that you're saying now that we're going to revisit again.
We're going to revisit
on the 8th. Like I did want to revisit a bit more about John Horgan and all of that on the 8th as well.
And this is a sneak peek for our listeners, but I'm going to be diving more into that, and people are thinking, oh, this will be interesting. It will be interesting because I'm going to kind of explain to people of how certain things do work. I don't know everything within government, but because I was elected within the municipality of a city, I can tell you, like, I know things that go on. There's cat fighting going on, like, behind the scenes and stuff. And I had put on a smile face, like, but I still had to make it happen. I still had to deliver the results that was expected of me as an elected official within the city. I still had to, produce of written information and write out. Some of it was so tiny print. I had to get either Sonjia to read it out, or I'd actually have one of my committee members who was sitting beside me to read it out, and we all had to then vote on that information. So we're going to talk more on that on the 8th of August.
And the other thing too, I'll quickly mention, Brent, is another thing we're going to talk about is, I've talked about a lot about, of course, my clawback, but more than that, I've talked about, going through the loss of a spouse, you know, and I remember that there was that one episode that we did right back in year 1. It was episode number 33. And it was actually it was supposed to be, it wasn't even going to be my, it wasn't even going to be my episode. It was going to be Jeff's Leggett's episode. And he didn't show up. So it ended up being my episode. But, it was just one of those serendipity things where that was the first time that I kind of went into depth about, loss and grief and that. And I'm going to touch a bit more about that on the 8th again. And I might even share a couple things that I've never shared before. I've got this one picture that I really want to share. And it kind of really encapsulates the effect of grief and loss. It's you can see it on my face. Anyway, so that's this one picture. Just kind of it's like, how they say a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Oh, it is.
So there's one picture that I keep going back to, like, to remind myself where I was when I first lost my first wife. I look at that picture and go, wow, like, I can't, it doesn't even look like me. So anyway, I was going to share that one picture, and we're going to kind of jump off on that and to talk about a bunch of stuff. But
we're definitely going to be diving into a lot of stuff. I mean, that the episode on the 8th, it usually our episodes go to, for about an hour. That episode might go for just a little bit longer than an hour.
I still want to keep it to about an hour, maybe. We'll see.
We'll tweak it. We always say that, everybody.
We always say it. We always lie. So.
True lies.
They're true lies, but
Arnold Schwarzenegger, True Lies.
True Lies. Yeah.
That was one of my favorite movies, actually. By the way. Definitely.
Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper.
No. I didn't say that. Again, the CDB hotline, everyone. Again, just to recap, it's 1-833-486-3007. Give them a call.
I feel like we're running a telethon, Brett.
We are.
Yeah.
We're doing the federal government.
We're running a telethon for the CRA.
Yeah. Give them a call at 1-833-486-3007.
Where's my money? Show me the money.
Yeah, and the countdown is on.
Oh, there you go. We got to get off now, Brent.
And the countdown's on. We're waiting for 11:11.
Okay, when it's 11:11, we can sign off, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But while we're waiting for that, I want to thank everyone for tuning in today to PWD Allies podcast. I hope you enjoyed today's show. As usual, please subscribe, like, and share the content. It really helps our channel grow. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. And definitely check out the podcast version. There's lots of areas to download.
There we go, Brent.
And we're at 11:11.
Time to sign out.
Thank you, everybody, and have a great long weekend if you're celebrating that, and stay tuned to our next show.
We'll see you on Tuesday. Yeah.
Take care, everyone. Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.